Good morning, Cupcats, and happy Wednesday. Hope you guys have had a great Monday or Tuesday, those of you who I haven't heard from. On today's agenda, Alex has shared a song that she found about weather, which is pretty cute and funny. I think you'll really enjoy it. We have a Crash Course Kids today that talks about weathering and erosion. I know that we are just getting off talking about plants, but the weather has a lot to do with weathering and erosion, and the Crash Course Kids is going to inform you a little bit, but just keep in mind that when something weathers or something erodes, you might see if you have been building a new garden and we get a bunch of rain that some of the soil has moved, or from one year to the next when you plant, that is all part of weather. So it kind of goes hand in hand, right? I mean, we know that plants need a certain amount of light, they need a certain amount of temperature. We can't just go plant, something in the wintertime if the conditions aren't right. Which brings me to conditions. I know in my first few videos this week, I said that today I would be planting with you guys. Unfortunately, with the weather and it being kind of chilly at night, I'm not going to plant anything for a few days. So maybe Friday, I'll give you a little update. I know Friday is Flex Friday. The big thing that I want you to concentrate on today is the Generation Genius. And the Generation Genius is their first introduction to weather. So we're going to step aside of Mystery Science just for a little bit. We've been talking about clouds. We've been talking about how we can look at clouds to determine and predict what the weather is going to be like. And in this introduction to the Generation Genius, we have 3 different objectives that I want you guys to think about. So first objective, don't mind me, I'm going to look at my screen and read the objectives. First objective is that the weather tells us what the sky and the air around us is going to be like on any given day. We are going to learn that the weather can be anything from sunny to cloudy to windy to rainy to even snowy. I mean, if you've been following the news up in New York City, they actually got some snow. It's May and they're getting snow. So we know that weather is very unpredictable. And the third thing that he's going to be talking about in the Generation Genius is that scientists, by looking at patterns, can predict what the weather is going to be like. So that's why they kind of compare like what was, the weather system a year ago. So they make those predictions based on what has already happened. All right, Cupcats. That's it. I should make mention, if you want to do the rain gauge activity, I've added that PDF into the Google Classroom for you. I'll do a rain gauge myself and I'll show you what it looks like tomorrow. But very simple. I think all you need is a 2-liter bottle, a ruler. You'll probably definitely need an adult to help you, and some rocks that go at the bottom. But use what you have. You don't have to use a 2-liter bottle. If you just have a container sitting around, a see-through container, maybe you got some, the Ingles containers are really awesome that have the pre-made veggies or fruit in them. Those are good containers. So you can use those as well. You don't have to necessarily use all of the materials that they suggest to you. Make it work. Send me your pictures. I'd love to see it. No rain in the forecast until this coming weekend. So you have a few days to make your rain gauge, but I'd love to see them. All right, Cupcats, make sure you message me if you have any questions. Some of you are getting a little comfortable having a little chat dialogue in Google Classroom under my assignments. I'm not saying don't do it if you have a good question. If it's directed at me, I would prefer you to send me a message directly. If you want to chit chat with your buddies, which I think is awesome, why don't you send them a private message or start a group? And if you need help with that, I have a couple kids who are experts at starting those groups. One last thing, there is going to be a quiz just like the other times that I've given you your quizzes, is just make sure you do it, 3 or 4 times to get your best score. If you get 100 your first time, then you don't have to do it anymore. But it's nice if you get a few wrong and then do it again to see if you can do it faster and if you can get more right. All right, that's it, Cupcats. Have a great Wednesday, and I'll see you soon. Bye.